strong pitch.
Ryan Wicks from here with Stacy Mraz and Siemens Fieldhouse, just moments away from tip-off of the men's Buena Vista Beavers, Loras Duhawk, Iowa basketball conference game. Last night, BV beat Upper Iowa 85-84 in a stunning victory right here at home. Just an amazing game. If you could make it up to that one. Loras won last night over Central and Pella 85-65. So Loras is riding a streak on the road too. One thing BV cannot come in tonight doing is being overconfident on the win last night. They need to put that behind them, and they really seem to this morning in their morning practice. Another thing, they need to do good, crisp passing, much like we saw in the previous game. The women did. They came out victoriously, and they need to use this home crowd, I think. Last night, the crowd started chanting out a countdown, and it forced a shot by Michael Spencer, who is the #1 player for Upper Iowa, and that really changed the momentum of the game. That really showed the crowd that they can get in their heads and screw with the other players. So right now, Stacy Mraz here is going to give us her keys to victory.
Well, first of all, you can't say it enough. You got to play smart. Like Ryan was saying, they cannot come in here cocky. It was a great game last night, but tonight is a different night. It's a different team. And also, you know, maybe not exactly forget last night's game, but ride that momentum into tonight's game. That's going to be a big key. Both teams are coming off of great wins from last night, but tonight's matchup is going to be the better team.
So stay tuned for more pregame, an interview with Coach Van Haften. But right now we have to go to a break. You're watching Beaver Basketball on Innovation Sports.
Hottest club in the city, and it's right on the beach. Temperature.
Watch Iowa basketball replay.
Fieldhouse tonight, where we are about to watch the Buena Vista Beavers take on the Loras Duhawks. And you don't know what to say about this game. Really, Buena Vista coming off of a huge win last night, an emotional win. I mean, you cannot say enough. Knocked off the #1 team in the Iowa Conference, and just really messed up the whole conference scene right now.
But as we mentioned before, you can't forget that last night Loras took on a very strong Central team. Central also riding high in the conference, and Loras actually beat them over on Central's home court last night. So both teams winning huge games last night.
But right now, our Innovation Video host of Center Court and Innovation Sports reporter Mark Hazelton had an opportunity to sit down and talk with head coach Brian Van Haften, so we're going to take a look at that right now.
We got game, they got game, we got game. It might feel good, it might sound a little something.
All right, thank you. Joining us right now is head men's basketball coach Brian Van Haften. Thanks for joining us today, Coach. Tuesday, coming off a tough loss against Co. You guys are real close in the conference. I believe they're third and you guys are fourth. Real close game, lost by 3. Tell us a little bit how that game's going to prepare you for the upcoming game against Upper Iowa.
Well, you know, every game is a war for us. You know, it was just a great game. We were down 15 in the first half and really never got the lead until we got up 3 points with about 2 minutes to go, and they hit some free throws down the stretch against us, and you know, we just didn't get the breaks that we needed to get, you know, late in the game. But I was really proud of our effort, and we came from behind just about the whole game, and so I was happy with where we were, and what it prepares us for is that hopefully it gets us just a little bit more determined to come up with a win here tonight.
All right, tonight we're playing Upper Iowa. They're the top-ranked team in the conference, standing with a record of 14-2 in the conference. Maybe hoping this home court advantage will bring a little better luck against the Upper Iowa tough squad tonight.
Yeah, you know, they have not played a whole lot of games. Well, I guess they have now, but most of their games here at the end of the season are on the road. You know, I think people are getting more used to them. They can be intimidating. They've had a game where they had 16 blocks in one game. You know, they'll get a lot of dunks in the game, I'm sure. They're the best athletic team that we've had here since I've been here in 5 years, and they can all play. And hopefully our fundamentals, our defensive end, will be able to tame them down a little bit. We lead the league in defense, and they lead the league in offense, and we're just going to see who does the best.
I know Upper Iowa is a real athletic team. They kind of took a facelift on their basketball program, having like 5 junior college transfers come in. Talk a little bit about how they've helped boost that program a little bit.
Well, 4 guys were back from last year's team that started last year, and they all 4 come off the bench now, the starters from last year. And they were 4th in the league last year. So they should be good. I mean, they got 5 guys that can really play. They're athletic. No one's above 6'5", but you know, they can all jump, and you know, they can play defense. I think they pass the ball well. I don't think they have a whole lot of weaknesses. You know, the only weakness that they may have is the fact that if someone puts a little pressure defense on them, that we're hoping that maybe that can solve some of the problems. But it's going to be a great game. Our guys are looking forward to it. We need to be physical. We need to be emotional and play with a lot of poise. And if we can do that, we got a chance in the end.
All right, moving on to the next game, I believe is on Saturday night against Loras. That's Parents' Night. Explain a little bit about what Parents' Night means to the players and to the program.
Well, I think as far as Parents' Night is concerned, I mean, it celebrates the fact that the parents come and watch a lot of our games. They do a lot for our kids. They do a lot for our program, and it's good to get them in front of the rest of the crowd and, you know, show them who our parents are in our program. And you know, they've done a lot for us, and you know, they're just as important to our program as, you know, any of our fans are, any of our players are, and you know, so they're important.
All right, Loras is standing about the middle of the pack with a record of 6-10 in the conference, but it's still a tough basketball squad. How are you preparing your guys, and how are your guys looking forward to playing them?
Well, they play 4 guards and a 6'8" center, and so they pose a tough, you know, a tough game for us. Luckily, we got pretty good guards, so we should be able to be okay defensively with them. But you know, they've got great scores from the outside. They got 2 good post players that sub in and out for each other. And really, I haven't paid a whole bunch of attention to this game, just as we're getting ready for Friday. Typically, we don't look at Saturday's game until Saturday morning. But this will be a team that will be athletic, but it's also a game that we should win. I mean, if we play solid defense and we execute on the offensive end, we should win. But we should have won a couple of other games this year too and lost those. But yeah, we'll be ready to go.
I know camp is kind of the flu bugs going around, but I heard the basketball team's pretty healthy. And is that important at this later part of the season right now?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we need to be in good health. We have not really had any injuries all year. I think OJ missed 1 game with the flu. Nick Winters has a bruised calf right now a little bit, but other than that, everyone seems to be pretty healthy. You know, we'll see how things are tonight, but I'm assuming everyone's in pretty good shape.
All right, Coach, I'd just like to thank you for joining us today, and good luck against this Upper Iowa tough squad and this lower squad coming up this weekend, and we wish you the best here at Innovation Video.
Thank you.
Here we go now! Here we go now! Here we go now!
Well, thank you, Mark, for that nice interview there. We're going to turn it over here to the PA system in just a minute for the starting lineups. But just a little note here, players to watch tonight is Adam Jones, Brett Smith, and Landon Roth being the 3 lead scorers for the Buena Vista Beavers. And we'll turn it over to the PA system and continue after the starting lineup here.
Number 13, Brad Nelson. At forward for Loras, number 24, Mario Golden. And for the Beavers, at forward, a 5'11" junior from Waco, number 33, Landon Roth. At center for Loras, number 50, Lon Hinkle. And for the Beavers, at center, a 6'5" sophomore from Iowa Falls, number 30, Nick Winters. At guard for Loras, number 12, Alexander Wonyo. And for the Beavers, at guard, a 6-foot senior from Algona, Iowa, number 24, O.J. Fraley. At guard for Loras, number 14, Nick Berry. And for the Beavers at guard, a 6'3" sophomore from Carroll, Iowa, number 4, Nolan Stride. The NCAA promotes good sportsmanship by senior athletes, coaches,
and there's the starting lineups you saw there. An interesting change is Brad Nelson, the senior out of Blooming Prairie, Minnesota, gets the nod tonight, possibly for Parents' Night or possibly showing some improvement in practice there. But not really sure on that one.
Nolan Strive also joined tonight's lineup. He's a sophomore from Carroll, Iowa.
Not starting tonight is Matt Jansen and Nick Winters. Nick Winters is starting. Adam Jones. So let's set the official starting lineup here for you. We have Nolan Stribe, O.J. Fralick, Brad Nelson, Landon Roth, and Nick Winters. And for Loras, we have Alexander Wano, Nick Burry, Mario Golden, Lou Moore Jr., and Lon Hinkle in the post position. And Loras controls the tip-off right there. And this game is underway. With the ball now is Mario Golden, guarded by O.J. Fralick. And there is Larry Moore Jr. with the ball, guarded by the other 33. That would be Landon Roth tonight. And they are calling a foul there on Nolan Stribe early on. So not the start Coach Manhattan was looking for, I'm sure. Just 17 seconds underway in this game. Stacy Miraz along, and I am Ryan Waystrom.
And Ryan Harder, our floor reporter, as you will see later.
And a good pass down below, back to Lon Hinkle. Hinkle stuffed, brought the ball down low, and Landon Roth got a hand on it, although they rip it away from Landon right after that. Top of the key, Nick Burry with the ball. And Roth with the rebound. Roth brings the ball down court, passes off to Nolan Stribe. Back to Roth, down to Fralick. Out to Brad Nelson. Over to Fralick. Fralick drills around with the ball a little bit. Brad Nelson passes down to Nolan Stribe. Nolan Stribe with the floater, and good. So BV off to a 2-0 lead early on. And Mario Golden with the ball, drives, and stuffed by Nick Winters. Brings it back out, and that is Nick Burry once again with the ball, and down low to Lon Hinkle, who is a 6'6" sophomore. Back down low, he's guarded by Nick Winters. O.J. Fralick out on. Oh, and Nick Winters with a humongous stuff over top of Mario Golden.
Winters being the player that Van Haften mentioned earlier in his interview with Mark Hazelton as being really the only player on the team with an injury at all. And he's sure not showing it tonight.
And the shot up and good by Lon Hinkle. So BV goes down and answers, and Loras comes right back and answers the two by BV, and really kind of a slow start, only 2 minutes into the game, so not much scoring going on yet. But right there, Nick Winters had the ball stripped from Lon Hinkle. So interesting, tight defensive game both ways so far. And Lon Hinkle gets the ball down low again. Nick Winter's got a hand on it. O.J. Freilich gets the loose ball, brings it down court, passes to Landon Roth. Ball back to Freilich, thinks about the three, pulls up, dribbles in. He has the ball knocked away by his own hand. They say it goes out of bounds. A Loras ball, so inlet to Mario Golden. So down low to Lon Hinkle. I think that's going to be a key matchup all night. Is the, as Stacy mentioned, injured Nick Winters on Lon Hinkle, who has a couple inches on Nick Winters. OJ brings the ball down court, passes off to Landon Roth, back out to Freilich, over to Stribe, drives in, and up, and no good. He had about all 5 of the Loras defenders right around him there and tried to get the floater to fall, so. And O.J. Freilich almost with a steal, but knocks the ball out of bounds, so not what he was going for at all. Lon Hinkle kicks it out to Mario Golden. Golden up and good. 6-2 with Loras up on top. Roth down in the corner, dribbles out, passes out to Freilich, over to Brad Nelson, down low to Nick Winters, back out to Stribe. A lot of passing going on here early on in the game. Roth puts it on the ground, goes up for an 8-foot shot from the baseline, and good. So, Landon Roth showing early on, he wants the ball, and he's going to put it through. And I'm sure Loras heard all about the game last night and how Buena Vista never let up on a much better at least a much better ranked and a much more physical Upper Iowa team. So, and with that, Larry Moore Jr. hit a 3, making it 9-5, and Moore Jr. brings it up, and off the feet of Nolan Stribe, fighting for the ball with Nick Burr. So, so far a physical game. 2 new Duhawks come in. That is Kelly LeFavor and Darren McMahon. So, but right now we are going to toss it down to a floor report once again with Ryan Harder.
Anyone who caught last night's Beaver men's basketball game, either here in Stevens Fieldhouse or on Innovation Video, knew of the dramatic ending that was the result of a technical foul. Well, Coach Van Haften has told many people that he's worried about this playing a factor in tonight's game and making the Beavers unprepared for it. Apparently, it looks like there may be a little bit of cold feet going on right now, but the Beavers will do everything they can to take care of that. Back to you.
And as Ryan was saying, that Brad Nelson hit a clutch 3 down in the corner, lifted Buena Vista back to within 2. So it's a 7-9 game with 5:13 left on the old clock up there. So, and a complete line change here for Buena Vista. Brian Fisher, Matt Jansen,
Adam Jones,
Trevor Botcher, and
Brett Smith, it looks like, joins the team right now.
So a completely new, fresh line for Buena Vista. Smith out on Moore. Moore, a long pass that goes nowhere but to the stands. Buena Vista ball. Brett Smith brings up the ball, and you are watching this live on Innovation Sports as Brett Smith gets the ball back once more. Over to Matt Jansen, down low, Fisher inside. The big fish getting fouled going to the line. And we were talking about big physical players during the women's game, and that is definitely what Brian Fisher is.
I don't think anybody would want to take him on. Even, let's see, their starter, number 50.
50, Lon
Hinkle
is 6'6", but
I would be very interested to see Lon out there taking on Fish.
Fish is also 6'6", but he's a lot bigger 6'6", I think. And Fish missed his first one. Second one up, no good. And that rebound by number 20, Michael Wilson, who is the leading scorer for Loras, comes off the bench, does an amazing job. Michael Wilson is out of Chicago, Illinois. Makes you wonder if he got some tips from Michael Jordan there.
Could have happened, you never know.
And Wilson working on Smith. Down low. Fish with the rebound on the miss by Kelly Lefevre. So Fish working on the much smaller Lefevre. Jansen with the ball in the corner. Out top to Brett Smith. Works a little bit, kicks it out to Jensen. Jensen thinks about the three, pulls up, passes it all the way around cross court. Almost missed the pass. And Brett Smith working with the ball with only 10 seconds left on the shot clock. And they got him on a travel that was well called. Moore brings the ball up court, guarded by Smith once again. And 42 there with the ball, that's Darren Mcmahon out of Haythorne Woods, Illinois.
Fish grabbing the rebound there.
Jansen down low, working on Lefevre now. He gets it on a little half sky hook there, so. And if you remember last year, Jansen was sat out most of the season with a arm injury, as you can see with the pad on his right elbow there, so. Rebound by Adam Jones out to Brett Smith. 13 minutes left in this first half, 9-9 ball game. Down to Fish at the top of at the corner of the free throw line. Down low to Jansen. Off Fish's hands to Adam Jones, and we'll see what the call is.
Looks like it's on Moore.
Buena Vista ball. Jansen will be the inbound passer. So let's set the squad as two new Duhawks check in. Out there right now is Jansen, Trevor Butcher, Brett Smith, Adam Jones, and Brian Fisher, the big man in the middle. Long pass over to Brett Smith, drives around, does nothing. Fisher gets the ball, kicks it out. Adam Jones for three and in. Adam Jones, the freshman out of Jefferson, Iowa.
Leading the Beavers in scoring this season.
And an offensive foul drawn there by Matt Jansen on Darren McMahon. So, and as Stacy was saying there, Adam Jones is the leading scorer for the Buena Vista Beavers. And a good accomplishment for that freshman there. He's definitely going to be a four-year starter for the Beavers. Adam Jones kicks it back out to Brett Smith. Adam Jones gets the pass, working on the defenders. And Trevor Butcher with the shot up and good. He's a junior out of Albert City, Iowa. And that is Mario Golden with the ball. Down to Kelly Lefevre, and Michael Wilson passes it back out to Golden. Golden being defended by Smith. Golden back with the ball, drives down low, kicks it out to Alexander. 103, no good. Lefevre with the shot, and that does not fall. So let's set the Loras lineup for you here. We have Alexander, 1-0. And Nate Cute, we're not sure on that name. Larry Moore Jr. is on the bench, It is Mario Golden and Michael Wilson and Kelly Lefevre finishing out that Loras lineup. Brett Smith passes off to Jansen. And that is Butcher looking for somebody, finds Smith. Smith gets it to Jansen all the way across the court. Smith back at the top, Jansen at the top. Smith takes the open three, no good. And Lefevre comes down with the board. He kicks it out to Golden, who instantly kicks it down to Wilson. And the two new Beavers coming in are Landon Roth and O.J. Freilich going in, and Nick Winters is coming in. Going out is Brian Fisher, Trevor Butcher, and I believe it was Brett Smith. So, Michael Wilson back with the ball over to Alexander Wano. And that was Nate Chiato who threw it away, and an over in the back when Michael Wilson picks up the ball. So, Buena Vista started out slow, letting Loras jump on the board quick, and now Buena Vista is controlling the board 14-11 with 11 minutes left in the game, or in the half, excuse me. Adam Jones for three once again, and good. Golden's got the ball, passes off to Wilson. Wilson guarded by Landon Roth. Kicks it out. Working sideways there, Lefevre goes up, no good. Lefevre gets his own rebound, puts it back in. So an easy tip in there for Lefevre. And a 4-point game with 17-13 with just over 10 minutes left. Ryan Wickstrom here with Stacy Mraz and Ryan Harder roaming around somewhere in the building. Matt Jansen down the Landon Roth, wide open with the lay-in. And that was just pure crisp passing right there that made it all possible. 4 points for Landon Roth here from our statsman extraordinaire, Charlie Plath. So Michael Wilson up top with it. Keyweight passes over to, shot by Wilson, no good. Rebound by O.J. Freilich, who got an elbow there as the players were clearing out. Back over to Freilich from Roth. Down to Adam Jones. Up, in and out. Mario Golden bringing the ball up the court. Passes over to Wano. Wano over to a wide open Lefevre and just barely gets it to fall through. Jansen out to Freilich. Roth to Jones, back to Roth. Roth attempting to drive, goes nowhere. Jansen kicks the ball back over to Jones, who instantly gives it to Freilich. Back to Freilich from Roth. Over to Nick Winters for three. In and out once again. The ball is just not falling through tonight for Buena Vista. But they still command a 19-15 lead with 8:40 left in the first half. You're watching this here right on Innovation Sports as Nick Winters argues a call but is called for the foul, and it is going to send Kelly Lefevre, the 6'8 sophomore from Elmhurst, Illinois, to the line. So the much taller Lefevre working on Nick Winters, who, as Coach Van Hatten said a little bit earlier, is injured but does not seem to be appearing. He's got 5 inches on Winters, but Winters is still handily getting up there and has already blocked 2 or 3 of his shots. So
And that is Nick Winters' second foul for the first half.
So let's take this opportunity and check out a score check here, 19-16 with 8:35 left in the first half. And we had some sub-ins there. Excuse me, that would be Nolan Stribe checked back into the game. Over to Stribe, back to Freilich, back over to Jones. Jones dribbling around to Roth. Roth looks, kicks it back out to the top to Freilich, who sets up the offense. Back down to Roth in that corner position. And Freilich thinks about the NBA three, but decides not to. There's Stribe, tries a fancy move, kicks it out to Roth, who drives in, and yes! A nice little floater there by Roth. 6 points for Landon Roth already on the evening. Roth guarding more. Looking for Burry. Burry gets down to Lefevre, who's guarded by Winters, and right over top of Winters. Burry gets the 2. That is Lefever's 10th point on the night. So and Nolan Stride called for traveling there. And it appears as though Trevor Bottert, Brian Fisher, and Brett Smith will be re-entering the game with Nick Winters, Adam Jones, and it would appear that Landon Roth would be the other Beaver that went out of the game there. Moore working on Smith. Kicks it down, and another bad pass by the Loras Duhawks. That's 2 or 3 bad passes that Loras has turned over and has given Buena Vista the ball back here with a 21-19 lead. Brett Smith gives it down low to Nolan Stribe. Stribe back out to Smith, back over to Freilich. Back to Freilich, back to Smith. Back over to Freilich. Fisher sets a good pick for Freilich. Up and good from about 18 feet. So you're seeing a clean shooting Buena Vista team now. And we got a push on Brian Fisher on Lefevre. So there's 6 team fouls on Buena Vista right now, 3 on Loras, and you got to be wondering if that's what Coach Van Haften's going to be talking about here.
It's been a very evenly matched game so far. I guess I'm not really sure whether it should have started out that way, but I'm sure you'll be seeing later on both teams will start finding their niche, and I expect it to be a pretty close game all night. Ryan, how about you?
I really think it will be too. Right now, Buena Vista is sitting at a 12-5 record with their humongous win last night over Upper Iowa, and Loras coming off a win against Central last night at 7-10. So you never know.
6:47 left in the first half. 23-19 is your score. BV up. And you're watching this all on Innovation Video, but just because you're watching it doesn't mean you can't come down to the Siebens Fieldhouse and cheer the Buena Vista Beavers on.
By all means, come on down. We won't mind having you down here. Lefevre kicks it out to Wilson. Wilson working on Nolan Stribe, and Brett Smith gets a hand on the pass that goes to Lefevre, and they get it back in. A big fight for the ball between Nolan Stribe there and Lefevre, excuse me. O.J. Freilich to inbound to Brett Smith. Brett Smith slowly pushes the ball up court. Smith with the ball down. Freilich up top with it. Down low to Fisher. And they're going to call traveling on the Fish. So Moore bringing the ball up court. Lefevre setting a pick on. And Lefevre wide open takes it off the chest. Right in the numbers. Brett Smith kicks it out to. Ball works its way around to Nolan Stribe, in and out. Fish almost gets the rebound, but Moore comes up with it. Moore looking for Wilson down in the corner. Doesn't find him. Gives it to Wano. Down to Lefevre. Back out to Wano. And Loras really doing a nice job of passing the ball around now on this possession where they hadn't earlier on in the game. Wilson with the double clutch, no good. Nolan Stribe down with the rebound. Freilich with the ball. Freilich back with the ball on top of the key. Gonna set up the offense here. Brett Smith with the ball. And from the short corner shot there, Nolan Stribe with the baseline jumper. And checking in will be Mario Golden for Loras, and Adam Jones and Landon Roth for Buena Vista. And Stacy, Brian Manhattan seems to be subbing in a lot of players, maybe trying to keep the fresh legs on what seems to be a faster Loras team here.
Seems like both teams are playing a pretty fast-paced game to me, Ryan. But I don't, like I said before, it's been pretty evenly matched.
And the ref has a couple words there with Brett Smith and Larry Moore Jr. Brett Smith, after a physical game of throwing around Michael Spencer last night. Michael Spencer, of course, the leading scorer, or the second leading scorer in the Iowa Conference for Upper Iowa. And tonight, Upper Iowa is in Upper Iowa's in Fayette, playing Central, trying to lick its wounds from last night's crushing defeat. Adam Jones, no good. Down with the rebound is Darren Mcmahon, and pushes it forward. Fish gets a huge break up there. Fast break to Nolan Stribe. Stribe slows it down a little bit, down in the corner. Kicks it out to Adam Jones. Adam for three, yes!
That was a great play by Nolan Stribe. He got down there, realized there were just too many people for him to try to take the basket. Caught Jones wide open.
Caught Jones wide open for a three that gives him 9 on the night. Lefevre working still on Fisher. Nolan Stribe down with the rebound, up to Landon Roth. Brett Smith wide open. Adam Jones in the corner one more time. No fall there. And Darren McMahon gets a shot on Stribe as he knocks Stribe out of the way. So Stribe brings the ball down court. Landon Roth wide open. Fisher wide open for the easy finger roll.
And it looks like the Loras coaches need a little time to talk with their players.
And I think the Loras coach just got a warning there from the ref. Getting a little excited there. It's a 30-23 game with 3:13 left in the half. A really quick-paced game so far. Not a lot of scoring yet. As we remind you, it started out a 2-2 tie until almost 17:30 in the game. And you're watching this here on Innovation Sports, where you can also is the only place to catch Coach Van Hatten and Coach Barry's thoughts on the game is Innovation Video and Center Court. So join host Mark Hazelton for the coach's thoughts, players' interviews, and highlights from home and away games, only on Center Court, only on Innovation Video.
And it's really good. Center Court is really a good way to see exactly, like if you're watching tonight's game, you may be thinking, what was Coach Van Hatten saying during this timeout? And if you watch Center Court, you're able to catch a lot of the coach's thoughts and, maybe miss some highlights of some games that you weren't able to see.
And Mark dares to ask the questions we only think of. So let's set the Buena Vista lineup here for you. Matt Jansen, Landon Roth, Brett Smith, Adam Jones, and Nolan Stribe. Smith still working on Moore while Stribe works on Golden, who's trying to call timeout and does not get it. Jump ball Buena Vista. Oh, they did give him the timeout.
They did get the timeout. 20-second timeout.
He appeared to be calling for the timeout underneath the ball, and the ref did not see it. So
Nolan Stribe was trying to get the ref to see the jump ball at the exact same time, but just happened that the ref happened to see Loras first.
So it is still a 30-23 game. Buena Vista has entered Loras into the 1-and-1 per foul. So Buena Vista with 16 fouls, Loras with 4. We remind you once again that it is Parents' Night. I'm Ryan Wickstrom here along with Stacy Mraz. Ryan Harder, I'm sure, has not left the building. He's somewhere, we don't know. But you're watching this on Innovation Sports. Keep your dial tuned here to see how the outcome of this one turns out. And wide open is Lon Hinkle for a huge basket there. Down low into the corner. Matt Jansen down low. Landon Roth out to Adam Jones, who says, I'll try the three. Larry Moore Jr. does a nice spin move, and I don't know what he was doing there. It looked as though he was trying to pass the ball to the rim. So Matt Jansen down low, working on it. Double clutches, up, no good. Adam Jones with the tip in.
Tipped it in right over that Loras player. Adam Jones using that vertical jump that that Coach Van Haften knows he has.
Yes, Adam Jones, not an extremely tall player, 6'5" against some 6'8" players. He is a tall he is a tall guard forward, but as we said, a freshman, good prospect for Coach Van Haften. Brett Smith brings the ball across midcourt. And Loras has fallen into their 2-3 defense, so we will see what happens out of that. Brett Smith with another nice 12-foot jumper there, and it falls. So Darren McMahon with the ball, working on both Landon Roth and Matt Jansen. Somehow gets a shot away, somehow it falls. 34-29, 120 left in this half. Nolan Stripe down low, back into Matt Jansen. Matt Jansen working the lane again. Number 4 there, Nolan Stripe passes it to Adam Jones. Brett Smith in and out, no good. Buena Vista really seems to be trying to push the threes. They've been working inside a lot tonight, but they seem to just be trying to push these threes now. And a block called on Brett Smith before the shot, but they will still be going to the line for a 1-and-1. Checking in now will be Trevor Botcher and O.J. Freilich. And out on the court right now for Loras, we have Mario Golden, Larry Moore Jr., who is shooting the 3 free throws. Kelly Lefevre, excuse me, that's not Kelly Lefevre, that is Lon Hinkle and Darren McMahon, and also Nick Burry. And it appears as though, just as we say that, Alexander Wono checks in, along with Michael Wilson. On the Buena Vista side of the ball, we have Adam Jones, O.J. Freilich, Landon Roth, Matt Jansen, and Trevor Botcher, who just checked in along with O.J. Freilich.
And a very close game here over in Siemens Fieldhouse, 34-31. Buena Vista hanging on by just 3 points with about 30 seconds left in the half.
And at halftime of that first game on January 15th, it was 47-33 Buena Vista. So a much different first half between these two teams than they had last year. So Adam Jones to inbounds it to Trevor Botcher. Botcher over to Freilich. Adam Jones down to Landon Roth. Landon Roth puts it up and gets a clean shot away, and then he is leveled. And a jump ball called, and that will go to Loras. Landon Roth somehow. Landon Roth only a 5'11 junior out of Waco, Iowa, somehow got the shot off pretty clean against Lon Hinkle, a 6'6" sophomore. So big difference in height there, 7 inches. And he got a shot off clean, and then Hinkle leveled him. So, and at the buzzer, Michael Wilson hits the 3 to tie the game up at 34-34. And just a great first half of action here. And you're watching this live on Innovation Sports. I'm Ryan Wickstrom with Stacy Mraz. As you see, halftime score, 34-34. We are going to take it to a break, but we will be right back after this with highlights. Interview with Coach Janet Berry or Nicole Cotterbaugh, whichever the case happens to be, and the second half of that Coach Al Baxter interview. So we'll be right back after this break.
Thousands of women will lose a child to AIDS simply because they didn't get an HIV test when they were pregnant. You see, there's now treatment that can help stop the spread of HIV from mother to baby, which gives children of HIV-infected mothers something they never had before: a chance. If you're pregnant, please get an HIV test.
Your order's here from Innovation Video.
What order?
I brought you some local news, BV Sports, the No Format Show, and also Burly Bear programming.
Wow, that looks great. Who ordered it?
Your TV did.
I'll take it.
Innovation Video, Channel 3, bringing BV to your TV.
My son Daku was riding a motorcycle when he was struck by a car. I had spoken to him previously about donating his organs, and it made it so much easier for me to make the decision. I knew that this is something that he wanted. I didn't have to feel guilty about making the decision, doing something that he may not have wanted. Every day I tell people, talk it over. You must let people know what you want.
Do you think you have the power to change the world?
I can change the world one child at a time.
I know I can make a difference in those children's lives.
I teach.
I teach.
Yes, they're teachers, but to the kids they reach, they're heroes.
I teach.
Do you have the power to wake up young minds, to be someone's hero? Teach, to make an impact on our future. Call 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
If you want your television set to have a good time, be sure to set it to Innovation Video for the No Format Show. The No Format Show is Buena Vista's only comedy, talent, variety show, and for good reason. The best part is there's no discernible format, so for an old-fashioned, wacky time, check the No Format Show right here on Innovation Video. And as we take a look at first half stats here, Adam Jones leading the way for Buena Vista with 11, and Kelly Lefevre for Loras with 12. Landon Roth with 9, Nolan Strive with 4, and
Brad Nelson with 3 points.
And Lon Hinkle with 6, Darren McMahon with 6, and Larry Moore Jr. with 5. Both teams shooting very evenly. Loras is 13 of 23 for 57%, and Buena Vista 15 of 27 for 56%. Three-pointers, Buena Vista only 33%, and Loras 50%, but Loras has only made 2 of 4, Buena Vista 4 of 12. And from the free throw line, Buena Vista is 0 of 2 for 0%, obviously, and Loras is 6 of 6 for 100%, obviously. So a big difference there in those stats.
It's all whether or not you're going to get the ball to the basket.
But right now, we're going to get our first thought of Janet Berry after that thrilling win this evening over Loras. So we're going to send it down to Ryan Harder with Coach Janet Berry standing by right now.
Ryan Harder down here on the floor at Stevens Fieldhouse with women's coach Janet Berry and son Brock. I think Janet's going to be doing most of the talking here, though. First of all, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you. That was a really nice win for us, and they had beat us over there, and so for us to avenge that loss and to hang on in a tight game, that was a good job. Oh, you're going to try to come for the microphone.
We can both do the interview here. It was an interesting game to say the least. Loras scored the first 9 points, and then you came back with 14 points. Being down 9-0, did that get you a little worried to start off?
Well, I was a little distracted, but I debated about whether I should call a timeout or just let our kids play through it, and I'm glad I let them play through it. And then, then we held them 8 minutes and they didn't score. So it was definitely a game of runs, and luckily we ended up on the top of that.
Yeah, you're right. It was a game of runs. The momentum did swing both ways, back and forth a couple of times. Is there anything you can do about that, or do you like it as long as you come out on top?
Well, Loras is just a team that every year you play them, that's the way it is. Hey, yesterday they were down by Central and 14 points in the second half, just like us, and they came back and won the game. And so, boy, I think you have a natural thing for the microphone, but that's just there. And you got to just hang in there and try to play through that.
Okay, well, congratulations.
I just want to say real quick hi to my son Blake, who's at home, and Brock is obviously a natural with the microphone here. So thanks for Innovation Video Sports doing our game, and thanks for the great crowd tonight.
Okay, well, thank you for coming down, and Brock, I see that you want my job very soon. well, maybe sooner than later. But thanks for coming down, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
Back to you.
I think Brock's got a couple more years before he can be doing what Ryan's doing. So, but we'd like to thank him for his enthusiasm, and we'd like to thank Coach Barry once again for coming down and talking to Ryan. And we are going to toss it to that second half of the Coach Al Baxter interview that happened at the BV Duels. So here's Coach Baxter. Welcome back to the BV Duels and the second half of our interview with head wrestling coach Al Baxter here on Innovation Sports. And do you think you have a little advantage on Wartburg, considering they have to come way out to the west part of the state?
Well, you know, it's a funny deal. Wartburg College, the closest school in the Iowa Conference for Wartburg is Buena Vista, 150 miles. Or actually, the furthest. That's the furthest they have to go. The closest school for us in the Iowa Conference is Wartburg. You know, it's 150 miles. But I don't think that 150-mile trip's gonna hurt them too much. Wartburg is competing today in the All-Lutheran tournament, which is at Luther College. Augsburg, who's rated #1 in the nation out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, they'll be there. Wartburg, the second-rated team. You got Augustana College out of Rock Island, Illinois. A couple Concordia schools, I think one out of Minnesota, one out of Wisconsin. Waldorf Community College, Luther College. So it's a tough tournament. And so their guys are going to be getting 3, 4, 5 matches in today. And I know they're going to be ready when they come over here on Thursday.
And some of the key wrestlers this year have been Daryl Becker, ranked 7th in the nation right now, and Schwetzberger, always there. I just want to kind of talk about the individual wrestlers.
You bet.
How they've stepped up this year.
Jay Field is at 125 right now, and was in the rankings, but kind of fell out of the top 8 rankings. But Jay's the kind of guy that he's going to be in there when the chips are on the table. He always comes through tough. Rick Schweitsberger is in a very, very tough weight class in the conference. 125 and 133 in our conference are 2 of the toughest weight classes. And if those guys can even get 3rd or 4th in the conference, I think they've got a good chance of going to nationals. That's what we want to do, is advance guys on to the nationals. So, and at 141, Mark Van Beek has just been doing a super job. Every time he wrestles, he gets better. He had to sit out 2 years because of injuries. At 149, Colby Yoder kind of really opened up today, and he's got every move in the book, but sometimes he has trouble pulling the trigger, and if he wrestles and thinks offensive and aggressive, he can do it, and he really wrestled well against Briarcliff. At 157, Daryl Becker came in and started wrestling varsity the end of December when we went down the Florida trip, and has just done a marvelous job, just magnificent, and he has really beat some really good wrestlers. He won the Cornell Invitational. At 165, Andy Kruger, I couldn't be more pleased with Andy's performance, and he just gets better and better. Has really beaten some outstanding wrestlers. He also won the Cornell Invitational. At 174, Savon Cole beat Friedhoff from Luther College, who was an All-American last year. He beat him 9-5 in the finals of the Cornell Invitational, and he sprained his ankle, and we're just hoping that he can continue to work out and get those good practices in, so he'll be in shape for the conference. We may not wrestle, it depends on how his ankle's feeling. We may not be wrestling him against Wartburg. We can't take any chances Thursday. And then at 184, Mike Pamelak, magnificent today. He was behind 7-2 and came back and beat his guy in the last 2 or 5 seconds, I guess it was. And at 197, Tag Knowles, 32 wins, 2 losses. He won the Cornell Invitational. We're holding Tag out today, kind of rejuvenate his battery and so forth, and let a couple little minor injuries heal up and so forth, but he's been looking fantastic. Tag hasn't lost since November. And Frank Bachman, I mean, for a guy that's set out of wrestling for 3 years to come in, he's our only heavyweight, and what a job he has done. I mean, he's won over 20 matches. I can't say enough good things about Frank, and he's been fighting bronchitis, and we've had him to the doctor about 5 times and 6 or 7 different prescription pills. We're going to keep doing it until we find something that clears up his chest problems, but he has a hard time breathing out there, so he's been kind of going on guts. But I couldn't be prouder of our team. We've got some great guys behind these varsity guys right now. I mean, there's 5, 6 weights you can just about flip a coin. But that's kind of our starting lineup right now, and that will probably be our starting lineup for Wartburg and also the conference tournament, barring any injuries.
And as I said, you got a busy schedule today, and as you can see, Buena Vista is starting to wrestle, so we're going to let you get back over to your real job of coaching the team. So thanks for coming over, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right, you just saw Coach Al Baxter, Buena Vista's wrestling coach, talking about how well his team is doing this year. Unfortunately, they were not able to wrestle Wartburg. Probably one of their biggest matches of the year, which was scheduled for this last Thursday. Didn't happen because of the bad weather we had. A lot of stuff called off because of the weather. But Al has been having a great season this year. And this Thursday, the wrestlers actually travel over to Decorah for the Iowa Conference Wrestling Tournament, where they will be able to take on those Wartburg wrestlers that they are so anxiously awaiting, as Al was talking about earlier in that interview.
And many of those Wartburg wrestlers are ranked in nations. I think they have the #2 team all around and 7 or 8 wrestlers that are ranked within the top 10 of each weight class. But we're going to try to get back in the mood for basketball here, so we're going to take a look at the first half highlights of this men's game. Nolan Stribe hitting a nice little floater to start off the game. And once again, there is Brad Nelson from this three-pointer from way downtown. Matt Jensen getting that nice, pretty shot off there. And again, Adam Jones hitting a 3. And again, Adam Jones hitting a 3.
That has just kind of been his shot for the night.
And there's Landon Roth working inside, gets a nice 4-foot jumper to fall. And there would be Nolan Stribe hitting a little baseline jumper. Adam Jones once again. What was it? It was a 3. And Brian Fisher, the big man in the middle, getting a sweet move inside. And what would be complete without a Matt Jansen highlight?
And then
Adam Jones highlight. So anything you call this game, it's Adam Jones tonight. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with our last thoughts and some stats on the first half, lead into the second half, and we'll start calling that. So as you see, at halftime, it's 34-34. You're watching Innovation Sports live coverage of Beaver basketball.
Smoking Falls
Only you
can prevent forest fires. And it's true. We know we can count on you to do what Smoky says.
drown your campfires with water. Make sure it's totally wet. Then stir and drown again.
We know we can count on you to do what Smoky says.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Hello. Your order's here from Innovation Video.
What order?
I brought you some local news, BV Sports, as well as educational programming, all made right here at Buena Vista University with the freshest local ingredients.
Who ordered this?
Your TV did.
I'll take it.
Innovation Video, Channel 3, bringing BV to your TV. That is right. We are bringing BV to your TV, and BV right now is tied with Loras at 34 at halftime. 1 minute till start of the second half. Let's just look at some stats here on this first half of action. Stacy leading the way for the Beavers. Wrong sheet. I picked up the women's stats there.
Whoops.
Hey, we all make mistakes.
Adam Jones is leading BV right now with 11 points. Landon Roth has 9. Nolan Stribe has 4, and Brad Nelson has 3.
Kelly Lefevre leading Loras with 12. It kind of falls off after that. Lon Hinkle, has 6, along with Darren McMahon with 6, and Larry Moore Jr. with 5. So, as you can see here, the Beavers going out to play right now is Nick Winters, Landon Roth, OJ Freilich, Nolan Stribe, and Adam Jones, who, as we were saying during highlights, has pretty much drained everything but the kitchen sink right now. So, and
I think a big key for tonight, not only the Beavers have been doing a very good job of getting the ball to the basket, taking their time and setting up their offense. I think the key is going to be getting that rebound.
Getting the rebounds of the missed shots is going to be huge, as you can see. And here is the starting lineup out there for Loras, and that is Alexander Wono, Nick Burry, Mario Golden, Larry Moore Jr., and Lon Hinkle is out there. So, starting squad for Loras, a different squad for BV right now. And Nolan Stribe gets the ball down low, kicks it out to O.J. Freilich for the three, no good. Landon goes up for the rebound, does not get it. Wono comes down with it. Moore pushes it down fast. He's got Hinkle down there, and he gets a body foul on either. I'm not sure if it was Landon Roth or Nolan Stribe. They were both right near him. And I think they're charging it to
Nolan Stribe, it looks
Nolan
like.
Stribe. And just underway, no baskets made. Moore is on the line right now. Larry Moore Jr. is a 73% free throw shooter and sinks both of them. So
he is 4 for 4 for tonight.
O.J. Freilich brings the ball up court, being the natural point guard of the group that's in there right now. Winters out to Jones. Roth tries to swing around but does not get open. Stribe back over to Freilich, over to Jones. Hits a high bounce off the back of the rim. And Nick Winters is going to be, I think Nick Winters called timeout on that dive. A nice play by Nick Winters there to save a ball from going out of bounds. Nick Winters playing really heads-up basketball tonight and last night. A big contributor to the win, and really just showing, he's a sophomore, he stepped up last year, but showing that he can play. So
Winters actually leads the Beavers in block shots, and I think he showed some of that early on in the first half, so we'll be looking for more of that in the second half.
Oh yeah, Nick Winters is the man to get up in your face and not let you get a shot off. He's gonna challenge everything you do. And you're watching this live on Innovation Sports as Nick Winters gets the ball, kicks it down low to Nolan Stribe, but does not get a handle on the ball as he punches it out, and O.J. Freilich picks up the loose ball. Winters at the free throw line, drives down. Count it! Hinkle fouls Stribe. And, excuse me, Winters, and Winters will go to the line, so.
We're about a minute into the second half, and the score is still tied at 36.
And Winters up for his shot is good. There was a three-point play that could have been transferred, but not. So it is still 36 apiece. And Freilich gets a hand on the pass there. And Moore out top, guarded by Roth. Looking for the open man. Hinkle working on Winters. Jones gets the rebound, kicks it out to Freilich. Freilich over to Jones. Winters at the free throw line. No good, just a bit short. And
Landon
out of
Roth
bounds.
tried to tip it there to Nolan Stribe and just wasn't able to get his hand on it.
And it would be Darren Mcmahon Kelly Lefevre checking in for Loras as Lon Hinkle goes to the bench.
With about 18:20 left in the second half here, your score is still tied at 36.
I'm Ryan Wickstrom along with Stacy Mraz here in Zeebens Fieldhouse with Innovation Sports live coverage of Buena Vista basketball. Lefevre up, no good, over top Winters. Freilich comes down with the rebound. He just punches it up to Nolan Stribe, who kicks it down into the corner, but instantly Jones kicks it back out. Roth at the three-point line. Winters at the top of the key, kicks it over to Stribe. Stribe drives, passes out to Roth. Roth up, no good. That could have been a nice bucket to make to break this tie. Wono back to Golden. Wono working, dribbling around. He goes up, and as we said, Nick Winters. But he gets called with the foul, so we will have number 32, Nate Keywait, going to the line, a 6-foot sophomore from Mason City, Iowa. Oh, excuse me, that is Alexander Wono, a 6'2 sophomore from Davenport, Iowa.
Matt Jansen checking in for Nick Winters, who that foul was his third for the game.
And they're going to wave that one off. Nolan Stripe stepped into the lane, so they will get another shot. And we'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you all for tuning in. You are seeing a 36-37 point game right now with 17:30 left in the second half. Adam Jones with the ball, kicks it back to Nolan Stripe. Nolan Stripe for three. Yes! Nolan Stripe just put it through the net. That is his 7th point on the night. So Buena Vista takes a 2-point lead on a very seesawed second half so far. Larry Moore Jr. working on Landon Roth, gets Roth to go up in the air, but there is a away from the ball foul, I believe, on Matt Jansen, who is working on the much taller Kelly Lefevre. So Brett Smith comes in for Landon Roth. And just inside the three-point line, Burry just buried that shot. I'm sorry. Freilich over to Smith, down to Jones, into Jansen. Jansen draws Lefevre off the ground, but he's triple teamed, and Jones with a three, no good. And it is off Lefevre. Adam Jones with a shot that missed. Lefevre goes for the rebound, but does not make it. And as we see, Michael Wilson will be coming in, and Darren McMahon will be going in. Larry Moore Jr. will be coming out, and Alexander Wono came out. And Jansen from the corner, no good. Michael Wilson with the ball, a nice ball fake there, and goes up, gets the finger roll to make it a 38-39 game.
Actually, it's 39-41 now with that basket.
Okay. And Adam Jones with the easy two-footer. And Mario Golden brings up the ball, passes off to Michael Wilson, who's guarded by O.J. Freilich. Wilson showing his quick feet, and Lefevre with the little tip in there. It looked like they were all going for the rebound and forgot to box out their man, so Lefevre with the easy putback. Jansen at the free throw line, kicks it out to Smith, down to Jones, down underneath to Stripe. Nice pick by Jansen for Smith. Long cross-court path by Nolan Stripe to O.J. Freilich there. Back to Stripe for another long pass. Brett Smith just inside the three-point line. No. Rebound by Kelly Lefevre. So once again, not much action happening now. 43-41, just over 15 minutes left in this half. A great Iowa basketball matchup. And Trevor Botcher will be coming back in after that foul there. And Nolan Stripe is going out. Brett Smith bringing the ball up court. Matt Jansen gets the ball at the top of the key. Back to Smith, over to
You'll
over
get
to
it
Jones.
sooner or later.
I will get it sooner or later. Probably later, knowing me, so. Jones down low with it. Freilich back to Smith. Down low to Jones. Another jump line, or a baseline jumper, no good. Jansen gets the rebound, but loses the ball with Michael Wilson hitting it out of bounds. So Buena Vista will retain the possession. With 32 seconds left on the shot clock. Brett Smith at the top of the key. Trevor Botcher steps back behind the line, but does not get it to fall. With Burry bringing it up court, and he gets the ball. He gets the shot blocked by Matt Jansen, and Freilich picks up the loose ball. Smith with the shot that's no good. Long baseball pass to Burry, over to McMahon, no good. And Burry is down. Foul on number 40, Matt Jansen. That is his first.
It looks like Nick Burry was tripped up by Brett Smith as he was coming down the court on his pass off. But he seems to be walking around okay now, Ryan.
Just got to walk that one off. And it will be Darren McMahon at the line, a 6'4" freshman out of Haythorne Woods, Illinois. A lot of east of the border recruits here for Loras. And BV takes a 20-second timeout with a score of 41-43 with 14:15 left in the game. And look for the spring semester debut of Innovation News on Tuesday, February 16th at 6:30 p.m. on Cable Channel 3, bringing you the latest of national, local news, weather, and sports. So tune in for that.
And I was just handed a statistic from our stats man, Charlie Plath. BB in the second half so far has been shooting 3 for 13 for only 23%. And Loras is 3 for 7, it looks like, for 43%.
Way to go, Charlie. It's right on top of that. As McMahon takes his first free throw. Good. Extends the lead to 3, a 44-41 point game.
And as we were saying before, Ryan, you know, the game really isn't, it's not as it looks on paper. Both teams have taken the exact same number of shots. Or no, actually, both teams have made the exact same number of shots. It's just BV happens to have taken a few more.
Yep, that is correct. And that is more missed opportunities by the Beavers. And Landon Roth takes the open 3. No good. And Wilson with a rebound there, showing why he is one of the top players to come off the bench in the Iowa Conference. Lefevre out of top key, guarded by Fish. Wilson tries to drive by Botcher, but doesn't do it. And Roth guarding McMahon, who dribbles in and takes the about 12-foot jumper there and sinks it. So Brett Smith dribbles across court with the ball, passes it back to Landon Roth. Botcher tries to drive, but doesn't go. Back to Roth. Roth looking for something to do with the ball, passes it over to Smith, back down to Jansen. Jansen tries to drive, kicks it out to Fisher, but they are going to call a foul, and it will be BV's ball under the hoop. So just about the same amount of passing in this in this half as there was in that first half, with 41-46 being your score, with Loras being up by 5 with 13-11 left in this half. And Fisher gets the ball, kicks it over to Roth, back over to Botcher, back to Roth, back to Jansen. Roth for 3, no good. And the rebound is there with McMahon. A long pass to Lon Hinckley, who misses the easy shot. Roth with the rebound. I think he heard Fish coming down that back door there.
Fish certainly made his presence known. Even I don't know.
And Hinkle hits the shot by Botcher, and Fish goes for the ball out of bounds. Does not get it. Other games in the Iowa Conference tonight is Central at Upper Iowa. Coe is going to Dubuque to play the University of Dubuque. Cornell versus Simpson, and William Penn is at Wartburg. So a busy night tonight in the Iowa Conference basketball games. And Fish gets his hands on the ball, but they call a pushing on Fish.
Looked to me like Fish was straight up, but I guess, as we said before, we can't really tell from up here.
Fish is a big presence, and being that big underneath, they're going to call a lot of fouls on you, as Fish has seen tonight with 3 already.
All of Buena Vista's big men have been doing a great job guarding both Kelly Lefevre and
Lon Hinkle, who are a lot taller group, but probably not as physical. And 2 subs in there, 2 people sub in there. It is Nick Winters and Adam Jones come in. And as we say that, Kelly Lefevre comes in, and we're going to toss to a floor report with Ryan Harder at this moment.
Now, going back to a floor report about the actual floor, I'm sitting on the rubber mats that usually go along the sides of the basketball court for the fans to walk to walk on. And what I'm wondering is why they aren't out tonight, because it is a mess outside, and these would be nice so the floor didn't get scuffed up. Why they weren't put out is a mystery, and that is such as this floor report. If I find out anything about it, I'll let you know. Back to you, Ryan and Stacy.
And during that floor report, we had a huge sequence there. Kelly Lefevre comes up with a humongous block on Nick Winters and passes outlet to Larry Moore Jr., who gets the easy bucket. And right there, there is a foul on Nick Winters, I believe. That is his fourth, so he is in foul trouble. And it was before the shot, as you saw, Lefevre made it, but it did not count. And now there's going to be another one on.
It appears like, yep, it was Nick Winters.
That is his fifth foul. Nick Winters will be sitting out this last 11 minutes of the game. And Loras is on a 16-7 run to start the second half here, so not a good sign for the Beavers.
And at about 11:44, while there's a break in the action, we're going to let you know that BV is down right now 9 points, with the score being 41-50 in favor of Loras.
Biggest deficit of the game, so. And it appears, though, as we were wrong, that was not charged to Nick Winters. He is staying in the game, it would appear. So we are uncertain of that right now.
We're baffled.
We will. And Coach Van Haften is having a little conversation, I believe, with the ref over there. So we will set who's on the court right now. Nick Winters, who we are wondering about with the, yes, it was his foul, so he's got his fifth foul, so he's going to have to sit the rest of the game. So Matt Jansen comes in for him. So we got Matt Jansen, Nolan Stribe, O.J. Freilich, Adam Jones, and Landon Roth on the court. And the shot is up and good. And Loras just entered into the bonus with Buena Vista having 17 fouls. Loras only sitting at 3 right now. And it is a double-digit lead for Loras. And Michael Winters appeared to have tripped, or Michael Wilson, excuse me, appeared to have tripped Nolan Stribe there. But Nolan Stribe appeared to trip Michael Wilson right back, and there will be a foul on Nolan Stribe. So not a good sign for the Beavers right now, being down by 10 with 11:30 left in this game and already being in the bonus. So Loras will definitely have the edge on free throws from now on out, with Lefevre trying his first and making it. That 6'8" monster in the middle. Takes a second and good, so extends it to a 12-point lead. And Lefevre has 17 points on the night. And a timeout charged to Brian Van Haften and his Beavers. So if you want your television set to have a good time, be sure to set it to Innovation Video for the No Format Show. The No Format Show is Buena Vista's only comedy, talent, and variety show, and for good reason. The best part is there's no discernible formats, so for an old-fashioned wacky time, catch the No Format Show right here on Innovation Video.
The No Format Show is actually hosted by our floor reporter, Ryan Harder, who we believe is up for a little competition by Brock Berry, Coach Janet Berry's son, who actually tried to steal the microphone away from Ryan a few times during that floor report.
And looking at some stats here, Buena Vista is 1-0 when tied at halftime, and Loras is 0-1 when tied at halftime, so a little number not going with it there, with Buena Vista down by 12 right now. So hopefully Brian Van Haften will be able to turn his team around and bring him back to within single digits here. Adam Jones with the ball outside three-point line. Landon Roth over to Nolan Stribe. And Matt Jansen back to Freilich, who thinks about the three-pointer but does not take it. And Matt Jansen is hit on the shot, so he will be going to the line for 2. Once again, that is Loras' 4th team foul. So the squads out there are Nolan Stribe, Landon Roth, Matt Jansen, who is shooting the free throws, O.J. Freilich, and Adam Jones. And for Loras, we have Kelly Lefevre, Darren McMahon, Larry Moore Jr., Nick Burry, and Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson gets the inbound pass back over to Moore, who kicks it up to Burry, trying to get it across the line. Moore down to McMahon, who tries to get it into Lefevre but does not, and Buena Vista gets the ball. There's 10:52 on the clock at a 10-point game of 43-53. I'm Ryan Wickstrom along with Stacy Mraz, just calling the game, having a good time. Matt Jansen down underneath. And if you missed it just moments ago, Nick Winters fouled out of the game early in the second half and was replaced by Matt Jansen. So a crucial foul out possibly by Buena Vista, with Nick Winters having to sit on the bench for the rest of the game. Landon Roth tries a long three, does not get it, and the ball trickles out to the three-point line before he's picked up by Nick Burry of Loras. Michael Wilson takes a moment to reset the offense, and it's down low to Lefevre, who kicks it back out to Michael Wilson. Fakes the three, does not take it though. Again down low to Lefevre. Larry Moore Jr. with the three, no good. Jansen with the rebound.
Loras is doing a very good job right now of setting up their offense and managing to find an open player.
Yes, they are, Stacy.
Hopefully Buena Vista can start doing this time.
And they try to put it down low to Matt Jansen. Landon Roth, O.J. Freilich, no good with the three-pointer there. Larry Moore Jr. slowly brings the ball up court, setting up the offense, as Stacy said they do very well right now. And Loras definitely has the height advantage with 6'8" Kelly Lefevre in there. Michael Wilson with the ball, guarded by Adam Jones. And Wilson loses the ball as Jones goes to the floor. And elbow thrown by Lefevre to Jansen for
There was
the
a
foul.
big pushing match going on down there, and I think Lefevre just got a little tired of it. Good play by Matt Jansen, keeping his temper, staying in the game.
Jansen is not known to take a lot of pushing, and I guess neither is Lefevre, so. Loras set up in a 2-3 zone defense, and Buena Vista trying to set up their offense. Nice pass by Jansen underneath the stride, but does not get the shot.
The basket is just not being kind to Buena Vista. I wish we had a statistic of how many times the ball has gone in and come right back out.
It has not been good. Set to check in is Mario Golden and Brett Smith. Leaving the game is Larry Moore Jr. and Landon Roth.
And once again, we have sent Loras to the line.
Which is not good, considering Loras is up 43-53 with 8:53 left in the game. Lefevre with the rebound, does not get the shot to fall. And there's a foul on Darren McMahon. So both teams starting to get into the one more foul, and Buena Vista will be sending Loras to the line for 2 every time. And one more foul by Loras, and Buena Vista will be going to the line for 1-and-1s per foul. Brett Smith brings the ball down court. Over to Trevor Batcher. Botcher patches it over 2-4 to Nolan Stribe. Over to Freilich. Freilich drives around. Nice pass to Jansen. Jansen tries to draw him off. Does not, but gets the bucket anyway. Jansen with a nice move at 8:30. 45-53. Buena Vista has pulled within 9, or within 8, excuse me. My math is not so good.
That's what we have Charlie here for.
Yes, Charlie's our stats man. And McMahon drives on Botcher, but does not get his shot to fall. Obviously, a bigger man is McMahon than Botcher, but Botcher does a good job of making him force his way in. Jansen at the top of the key, over to Brett Smith for a three. In and out once again for Buena Vista. Wilson, excuse me, that's Mario Golden, slowly brings the ball up court. McMahon once again, and there is Lefevre down on Jansen. And that is going to be a foul, I believe, on Matt Jansen.
I don't know, Ryan. It looked to me like Lefevre traveled a little bit before Jansen fouled him, but that's just me.
Yes, it did. So they enter the double bonus on that foul by Jansen. That is his third and the team's 10th. So not a good position for the Buena Vista Beavers right now, down by 9 with 7:43 left in this game. And a nice rebound by Darren Mcmahon. Passes it back to Alexander Wono. And a defective pass there by Nolan Stribe and received by Trevor Botcher. So Buena Vista gets a good defensive stand there after those free throws.
And hopefully now they can capitalize off of this and start putting a little more energy into their game.
So 2 missed free throws ended up in a nice defensive play. And count the bucket by Nolan Stribe.
Right there, that is what Buena Vista is looking for. Play like that to get them going. I think we're going to see a lot more energetic of a team right now, Ryan.
He's got the burger, he wants the cheese.
That could be.
We're making it up as we go, folks. So it is a 3-point play, possibly, with Lon Hinkle checking in for Kelly Lefevre.
And at 7:17 in the second half, Buena Vista is down 47-53.
Pulled to within 5 with that bucket right there by Matt Jansen, I believe it was.
Yep, I think that was.
Fish now in the game, along with Stribe, Botcher, Smith, and Freilich. The big fish is covering Lon Hinkle, the big guy in the middle, but out there with the ball is Wono. Passes over to Wilson, and as I say that, they give the ball down. Fish trying to go up, gets called for a foul. 0-0.
And I believe that's Fish's 4th foul. So all of our big men in the center are having a little foul trouble tonight.
And that is not a good thing, as we see Landon Roth going over to the scorer's table to check in once again. So Wono makes his shot. So we got Wono, Burry, Wilson, Golden, and Hinkle in for Loras.
I guess we were a little wrong on that foul call. It was not on Fish, it was on Trevor Botcher, and it was his first.
So that is a good thing for Buena Vista that they still have the big physical man in the middle. And Botcher draws a foul on the rebound, so Botcher will be going to the line.
And that was Lon Hinkle committing that foul. We're looking up to see how many he has. That was his second.
Botcher is a 60% free throw shooter. And Adam Jones comes in, and Nolan Stribe leaves the game. So with 6:52 left, it is a 6-point game. As Fisher goes for the rebound, does not get it. Great save by Jones, but it eventually rolls out of bounds to become a Loras ball. Both coaches right now do not seem to be too pleased with the officiating job that's been happening in this game. Buena Vista known for their full court press and showing why.
Fisher presenting a very formidable force there.
Yeah, a 6'6" Fisher against a 6'2" Wono does not seem like a good matchup for Loras.
I think you could say he pretty much literally ran into a wall there.
Yeah. Trying to get the ball in, cannot. Barely gets the ball in before the clock runs out on that one. 17 seconds left on the shot clock, and they kick it out to Wono, who tries to drive around Adam Jones but does not. And I believe 3 players down driving for the ball, but somehow Wono gets it out to Wilson, who pulls up just outside the lane and gets the shot to fall. So 56-48 with 6:10 left in this game. Up and no good. Fish gets the rebound. Does not count, though. The shot does not count. And Michael Wilson appears to be the one called for that foul. And Fish will be on the line. Brian Fisher, a 58% free throw shooter. So well below the team average of 73%. Fisher up, no good, and Hinkle gets the rebound. Moore slowly brings the ball down court, guarded closely by Smith. And there's a away from the ball foul here. Having a little conference about it. It will remain Loras' ball, I believe. So the squads right now, Jones, Smith, Botcher, Fish, Roth is the Buena Vista squad on the floor right now. And Coach Brian Van Haften looking on with interest on what's going on. We are not certain yet either. Buried to, and Fish looked like he thought he had knocked it away, but it was not. It was Hinkle who had knocked it away. And Buena Vista still trying to come back within just a few points. A single-digit game, was double digits momentarily ago, but Buena Vista able to bring it back to within 8. And Jones up, no good. Fish gets the rebound, puts it back up, and good! Fisher showing why he's the physical presence in the game. Fisher usually only 3-point, but with 5 minutes left, he's already got 4. So, and with Nick Winters sitting out, we might see Coach Brian Van Haften depending on Fisher as the big man a little more. And Michael Wilson set to shoot free throws, but that was Fisher's 4th foul, so they do not want to see Fisher go out as they bring Jansen in as his replacement, along with Freilich and Stribe in for Botcher and Smith. So a squad we saw in a lot last night in the defeat over Upper Iowa with Roth, Freilich, Jones, Stribe, and Jansen. Roth to Jansen. Jansen fakes a move, nice move. Able to pass it out to Freilich. Freilich over to Jones, back to Roth, back to Jones. Jansen from the free throw line, no good. And we have a foul against Buena Vista, and I believe it's Nolan Stribe. Excuse me, that would be Landon Roth with his first of the game. And Loras with only 3 players on their half of the half court. And the other 2 standing down at the free throw line of Buena Vista. Shooting for 2. The first is no good by Lefevre, who has been the man tonight for Loras. Normally only 6 points a game, and now well into the high teens. So, and a Buena Vista timeout charged to us, but 5:04 left. A 50-58 game.
Seems like Loras has really gotten back into its rhythm. So I think Coach Van Haften, that full court press, something's got to start to happen with that.
And you are watching this live on Center Court, or excuse me, live on Innovation Sports, where you can also see Center Court, the weekly coaches show with Coach Brian Van Haften and Coach Janet Berry. Get their thoughts on the game. You can join host Mark Hazelton every week for that. Get the coaches' thoughts, player interviews, and highlights from home and away games, only on Center Court, only on Innovation Sports. And right now you're watching a great Iowa Conference matchup with Loras Duhawks playing the Buena Vista Beavers, with Loras leading 58-50 with 5:04 left in this second half of action-packed basketball. Buena Vista into the double foul situation where every foul they get, Loras will be going to the line for 2. And Loras still hanging on to a 1-and-1 situation where every foul they commit, Buena Vista will only go for 1-and-1.
Which is actually a good thing for Buena Vista because Buena Vista is a very strong free throw shooting team.
And a nice save by O.J. Freilich after the Adam Jones miss right in front of the Buena Vista bench. Over to Landon Roth in the corner, drives down in the middle, loses control, kicks it out to Freilich. Roth drives in again. Nice shot by Roth. Somehow got that out of his hands untouched and put it in to bring the Beavers within 6. So we might be seeing another close nail biter here at the end, as in within last night. Michael Wilson guarded by Nolan Stribe. No good. He gets the help from Landon Roth and a charging on Wilson. A huge break
Great
for Buena Vista.
placement by Landon Roth. He was coming over to help recover and actually drew the charge.
The second half information here, Buena Vista is only 1 for 14 on free throws for 7%. So like we've been saying, they have not been able to get that ball through the hoop. And just as I say that, Landon Roth seemed to have got fouled, but nothing was called. As Moore slowly brings the ball up court. Larry Moore, you've heard him a lot. He is a 6-foot junior from Hammond, Indiana.
Lefevre was just called for traveling, taking the air out of his wind, or actually taking the wind out of his bags for a little bit.
It's okay, it's getting late, Stacy. 3:49 left in the game, a 52-58 game here. As Landon Roth slowly drives down the lane. Not much happening there. O.J. Freilich out well past the three-point line, Back over to Freilich from Jansen. Freilich with a nice shot and gets it to fall. O.J. Freilich is one of the two-cut clutch players you can always turn to on this Buena Vista team, the other being Landon Roth.
And now the crowd is starting to get into the game a little more. Haven't heard much from them tonight.
No, and as we mentioned last night, being a huge contributor in the win over Upper Iowa. And Buena Vista now down by 6 once again after that make by Darren Mcmahon. And as I just said, O.J. Freilich, clutch player, hits the 3 to bring it within 3. He has 7 points on the night. Landon Roth guarding Moore. A little shoving match going on over there too.
Keep an eye on Lefevre and Jansen down in the post when they get there.
They get quite physical down there. The two number 40s out there. And McMahon hits a 3 to answer. O.J. Freilich. Freilich brings the ball up court, now down by 9. So not a good position for Buena Vista. From NBA land. No. And out of bounds called on Landon Roth. Not a good break for Buena Vista with 12-11 left in this game, down by, oh, the score was wrong. It is 57-63. So a 6-point game, not a 9-point game. With 2 minutes left, anything can happen. And Larry Moore goes down on great defense by Landon Roth. Stribe to inlet 2. O.J. Freilich, who beats. Passes to Jansen, down in towards Stribe. Stribe driving, no. Roth with the ball. Covered tightly by Wilson. Jansen wide open, does not get it to fall. Lefevre, the much taller player, goes up and gets the rebound. 1:30 left, still a 6-point game. And a timeout to Loras. So, Stacy, anything can happen with 1:27 left, 6-point game. I see you're getting nervous up here.
It's a good thing I'm not a nail biter because that's exactly what this game has been right now.
This game is unreal. And
you can only guess what the coaches have to be saying right now. Loris's coach has got to be saying, we have the lead, let's keep it.
Control the ball, let's just not make dumb mistakes. So
Buena Vista right now is looking to screw up Loras' rhythm just a bit in order to give them the edge that they need in order to take that lead back. And as you were saying before, O.J. Freilich, Landon Roth, look for those two players to be creating the clutch shots right now. But don't count out any of the other players right now. Matt Jansen has been doing a great defensive job on Lefevre down in the post, and Adam Jones has been pulling his weight all year.
And you can't help but think of, I mean, just like last night, can't help but think of Simpson last year. Close game in the waning minutes, and Landon Roth pulls out probably the best clutch shot in Buena Vista history to beat Simpson. Moore with the ball, guarded closely by Roth. And there's an away from the ball foul, and Jansen will be going to the line, I believe. Excuse me, it will be O.J. Freilich will be going to the line. And that is not what Buena Vista can do right now. We're going to take this opportunity right now to pass it down to Ryan Harder for a floor report.
During last time out, Coach Van Haften told his team just keep playing like you have been because they've been playing good basketball up to now. They just need to take the good shots and be sure that they're sure about the shot before they take it. Back to you, Brian and Stacy.
And with that, O.J. Freilich brings them to within 4 points. So an even closer game than we thought. When we passed it down, they're down by 6. O.J. Freilich drained both free throws. Tight pressure there by Buena Vista as Landon Roth comes on the outside of Moore, trying to swipe the ball away, but does not get it.
And actually, none of the Buena Vista players are in real foul trouble right now. Probably the most they have is 3. So they can spare a few, even though they really don't want to.
And a blocking charge on Nolan Stribe. He seemed to be planted, but not according to the officials. So Michael Wilson, after a conference with his... Oh, and it would appear that Nolan Stribe has fouled out also. Another big loss for Buena Vista.
Guess I was wrong about that stat about nobody being in real foul trouble.
So they're putting Brett Smith back in, who is also in foul trouble, I believe, with 2. Never mind, he does not have foul trouble. So the roster for Buena Vista right now is looking like, like Smith, Roth, Freilich, Jones, and Jansen. And Botcher comes in for Jansen. They seem to be putting in their better free throw shooters. So Darren McMahon on the line right now, along with Michael Wilson and Kelly Lefevre, makes it a 5-point game, excuse me. And another timeout called to Loras. So
right now what the Beavers need, they are in that position where they can get to the free throw line. Like you said, they were putting in their better free throw shooters. So what they got to be hoping for right now is that Loras screws up and starts just making those stupid fouls.
So we will be seeing if that makes any difference with 59 seconds left in the game. Buena Vista 59, Loras 64. I'm Ryan Wickstrom along with Stacy Mraz, just bringing you two exciting games. Buena Vista victorious earlier tonight in the women's game with a final score of, I believe it was. No, I don't remember it offhand. They won. That's the important thing. It's a W in the column.
That's right.
And once again, that Buena Vista squad out there is Trevor Botcher, O.J. Freilich, Brett Smith, Landon Roth, and Adam Jones, the better free throw shooters, as you said, Stacy, but also the better three-point shooters on the team.
Did not know that. Thank you, Ryan.
Moore, Wilson, Lefevre, McMahon, and Jones drains a clutch 3 to pull the Beavers within 2. A tight full-court press is asked by head coach Brian Van Haften, and Nick Burr brings down the court. And Lefevre is wide open, covered by Botcher. Not a good matchup there, but he kicks the ball out. They seem to really be trying to drain the clock right now with 10 seconds on the shot clock, just looking for an open shot that can extend the lead a little bit. And they throw it out of bounds. Moore makes a humongous mistake, and they say that BV touched it. So they will inbound the pass. Right now, Buena Vista needs to get the ball back, go down, and score a basket, tie the game. Lefevre, no good. Rebound Jones. 15 seconds left in the game. Landon Roth brings the ball down court. Everyone's on their feet. Timeout, Buena Vista. 10 seconds left, 62-64. 10 fouls apiece, 10 team fouls apiece, 10 seconds left. It is going nuts. Everyone in Siemens Fieldhouse is on their feet right now.
And I think we all know what Coach Van Haften is telling his team right now. Find the good shot and take it.
We do not have to win with one shot.
That's right.
Go for the open shot. Look for, I would not be surprised if they put Brian Fisher and Matt Jansen back in the game to look for a wide open underneath shot, high percentage shot that can get them into overtime.
And the thing is not to feel rushed. Granted, there's 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a long time in a basketball game.
And I'm sure I know exactly what John Zimbebziter, the head coach for Loras, is saying. Do not foul them. If Fisher and Jansen do not go in, they have the good free throw shooters out there. A good opportunity for Buena Vista to pick up 2 free points, and a very good opportunity for them to tie the game. 62-64, 10 seconds left, as you see on your television set. I'm Ryan Wickstrom, along with Stacy Mraz. We're bringing you the final 10 seconds of regulation here. Brett Smith with the ball, out to Freilich. OJ, up, no good. And that is the game. Buena Vista loses a tight game, 62-64. A crushing loss for Buena Vista that would improve Loras' records to 8-10 in the conference, and Buena Vista to 12-6.
A big weekend for the Loras Dewhawks.
Beating both Central and Buena Vista, especially, and a tough weekend for Buena Vista after a humongous win. A humongous win by Buena Vista last night over Upper Iowa, heavily favored team. Buena Vista really showing that they can do what they need to beat a team. And then tonight losing to Loras. Tough weekend.
And there you see your final score. Loras 64, Buena Vista 62. As we were saying, just a tough loss. And the referees certainly got out of here fast. I don't think they wanted to stick around very long.
I don't think they did either. It really appeared as though Buena Vista in them waning minutes of the game really tried to get a lot in there, and just could not get the ball to fall through the basket all second half. A big contributor to the loss. You got to give Buena Vista credit though, being down by 12 at one point, coming back to tie the game and bring it this close. So by all means, this final score could be a lot worse than it is. Buena Vista not shooting a high percentage from the field tonight. Really bad for a Buena Vista team, and really it comes down to free throws again. Loras went to the line a lot more, with Buena Vista getting in that early foul trouble, sending them into the bonus, into the 1-and-1, and into the 2 for sure, really early on in the second half.
I think a big part of the game was also just the emotion. Last night, the crowd was into it so much more, and yeah, the crowd got into it a little more towards the end tonight, but the Beavers, they had the home court advantage, but they just didn't have that extra momentum that they maybe needed tonight to pull it off. However, they did do a great job. I can't remember exactly how much they were down before, but to only lose by 2. I mean, even though you have the loss, you still only lost by a basket.
And as soon as Brian Manhattan gets out of his coaching meeting with his players, we will have an interview with him with Ryan Harder down on the floor. Just to go over it right now, BV's top scorer was Adam Jones, Nolan Stribe with 10, OJ Freilich with that three-pointer at the end to bring him back into the game with 9, Landon Roth with 8. And I'm going to have to give my Loras player of the game to Kelly Lefevre, who played phenomenal tonight, being that 6'8" sophomore, humongous man in the middle, hard to move. And then after that, he had 18 points. After that, McMahon had 17. Darren Mcmahon Larry Moore Jr. had 9, and Michael Wilson, the team's regular leading scorer, only came in with 8. So Buena Vista doing a really good job both weekends shutting down the lead scorer of both teams. Upper Iowa's Michael Spencer only had 8 points last night, and Michael Wilson, the lead scorer for Upper Iowa, only having 8 tonight as well.
And as we were talking before, it was really a battle of the big men tonight down in the free throw lane. We saw Kelly Lefevre lose his temper once, but I think his coach probably sat him down and told him, you know, you're doing a great job. You just got to stay a little cool there. And Matt Jansen did a great job of playing him, but you can't count out Brian Fisher, who also did a great job. Nick Winters he fouled out of the game with, what was it, 11 minutes left to go in the second half.
And just a huge game. Buena Vista trying to ride that momentum, but not making it. So we are going to wait for Brian Manhattan to get up here. And our player of the game for Buena Vista, I'm going to have to say, is Adam Jones.
I think you're right there, Ryan. As a freshman, you know, as we talked about before, not only did he pull his weight, he did a great job just shooting the ball from pretty much anywhere on the court.
He led the team with 16 points, but also, if you remember in that first half, he came off the bench with a little different starting lineup in Coach Van Haften's corner tonight. He came off the bench and just really stirred things up with a couple three-pointers early on, and just really made the impact when he came in both times.
Another thing to look at was how the Beavers ran the ball down the court. A couple of times they tried to take that quick shot, and that just didn't seem to be working, but they learned. And they started to set their shot up a little more, and that's where they started to get back into the game.
And Buena Vista really, that second half, seemed to lack the, I don't know if you want to call it momentum or whatever it was there in that they had in the first half to tie it up. And but Buena Vista losing tonight and falling to a 13-9 record overall, 12-6 in the conference. Loras improving to 8-10 in the conference, 9-13 overall. You really can't say enough for this Loras team. They came in knowing Buena Vista would be riding high, and they did not let it bother them one bit.
And even when Buena Vista started to catch up, they didn't lose their cool. They kept answering with Buena Vista baskets with Loras baskets, just not giving BB enough room to catch up.
And we will take a look at highlights of this most thrilling game tonight right now. And as you see here, Nick Winters fouling out early, but still making the impact when he was in. So that was a tough loss, along with Nolan Strive, who fouled out a little bit later, hitting a 3 right there. Nice pass by O.J. Freilich into Jansen, who's able to hit the jumper. Botcher with some nice passing down to Strive, getting a brilliant shot there. And Adam Jones, our player of the game, missing a shot there, but Fisher being able to put it back in with Landon Roth driving around. Really nice drive there, beautiful shot, somehow got that shot off. O.J. Freilich there with a nice clutch shot. And there is our player of the game, Adam Jones. Just an amazing job tonight. And as soon as Brian Manhattan gets up here, we will toss it down to our interview there. We can talk a few more stats here, I believe. Buena Vista really coming on strong there late in the second half with a little help from the fans. But once again, not enough for Buena Vista. A tough loss to take. And just not an easy loss for anyone to take, I guess.
I hate it when you have something to say and you totally forget what you were going to say. That is what is going through my head right now.
Happens a lot. Just a tough loss. You can't get over how tough this is. Upper Iowa came in here last night expecting to win, did not win. And Buena Vista tonight expecting to win, does not win. But as we said after last night, you don't play the games you don't play the games on paper. You play them in the court, and obviously there it did not get done tonight. So,
and something else we were talking about earlier, Loras outsized us. We knew that from the beginning, but yet as you were watching the highlights tape, you could certainly see how Buena Vista's players were certainly driving right into the basket and making those tough shots that they needed to.
Many of our shorter players, Landon Roth being one of them, Brett Smith being another one, being able to come through the lane and go up against a much taller team with Kelly Lefevre coming in at 6'8" and Lon Hinckley at 6'6", and just be able to bring the ball up strong and put it up. So.
And actually, Roth was one of our top scorers tonight with 8 points.
Leading the team, as we said, he's a great clutch player, a guy you want on the court when it's that close at the end of the game.
And he still has another year of playing left.
Yes, he does.
And for anybody who would like to see maybe more of tonight's, or actually highlights of tonight's game, hi.
Here we are up here in the booth.
I wasn't expecting that. But if you're looking for highlights of tonight's game and maybe to see what Brian Van Haften was thinking, tune into Center Court. It shows, I don't know when it shows.
It shows weekly with host Mark Hazelton. So tune in for that on players' thoughts, player interviews, and highlights possibly from this game. It's a cornucopia of Buena Vista basketball, if I may say that.
I'm sure you may. I won't.
I'm sure I may. I don't know if many will understand it. But at halftime, Buena Vista was tied with Loras 34-34. And to finish off, Buena Vista scored only 28 points to Loras's 30 in the second half to finish off 62-64. A humongous win last night. Not so big tonight. A little letdown maybe. But still, you got to be happy with the performance of the team. We're still waiting on Coach Brian Van Haften to come back upstairs and give us the first interview after this tough loss. Get a few comments from him, see what he has to say.
And once again, to reiterate, tonight the Buena Vista women took on the Loras Duhawks and managed to pull off the win. And just to recap, the Buena Vista men went down in defeat just by 2 points, 64-62, to a very energetic Loras team, which had actually pulled off a win last night against another Iowa Conference powerhouse, the Central Dutchmen. And that was played, actually both games were played away for Loras, so they had an outstanding weekend.
So yeah, a tough weekend on the road, but able to pull off 2 wins. Probably 2 of the hardest places to play in the Iowa Conference. I mean, going into any school's home turf, you know, you always got to look, but right here in Storm Lake, it's hard to play the Beavers and beat them.
And honestly, Buena Vista has got one of the best crowds in the Iowa Conference. And, I mean, you just can't beat the Buena Vista crowd. It may not have been evident tonight, but, you know, for a player just coming out here, even just sitting on the bench, looking around and seeing all of the people filling the field house, it is a great feeling to feel that all of those people are rooting for you.
It's got to be a great feeling, and we hope they're rooting for us, Stacy, but they're rooting for the team.
That's right. And as we saw earlier, tonight was also a tribute to Parents' Night. The Beavers, actually all of the Beaver players had their, well, not all of them, but most of the parents that could make it tried to make it tonight. So I'm sure that also kind of spurred on the Beavers a little bit.
And I'm sure we will have our Brian Van Haften interview before we cut away. But just to recap one more time, Buena Vista women victorious, and the men losers tonight, just the opposite of last night. An amazing game nonetheless.
And just to highlight the top scorers for tonight, Kelly Lefevre of Loras led all scorers with 18 points. Darren Mcmahon had 17 points. And for BV, Adam Jones led BV scorers with 16 points.
Okay, we've just been informed that Coach Brian Van Haften will not be coming up for an interview tonight, so we are going to just wrap up a little more here on the night. Buena Vista women winning, men losing. And for advisor Jerry Johnson, director Micah Elston, engineer Dave Gross, our camera people Chad Aubrey, Mike Poyce, Jamie Parmenter, and Dan Johns, everybody else back over in Logie Communication Center. For Ryan Harder and Stacy Mraz, I'm Ryan Wickstrom, signing off tonight with the women being victorious and the men losing to Loras. So we will see you next weekend for the Simpson game right here on Innovation Sports.